Okay, don't worry if you can't see this very well. I have one taken out of the packet and I'm going to show you both ends closer up and the cable itself closer up. I'm going to tell you a bit about what it is and the specs. I'm going to show it closer up, then at the end I will tell you the price and if I recommend it or not. It's the InfoTechnica Premium Reversible Micro USB cable. And what's so special about this? Well, there's one main selling point to this. It's reversible. And if you haven't come across a reversible USB cable before, I'm going to tell you a little bit about that quickly. I don't know if you've ever used a lightning cable on newer iPhones and iPads, or also the new Siri remote on the newer generation, fourth generation Apple TV uses it as well. The lightning end is reversible. Now, you know, with regular USBs, you have to plug it in, but then quite often you're plugging in the wrong way up and you have to turn it over and plug it in. Well, with lightning cables and USB Type-C, you don't have to do that. But the problem is with regular full-size, standard-size USB and with micro USBs, they weren't designed like that. So there would only be one correct side up. So you'd put it in. If that was wrong, you'd have to turn it over and put it in the right way up. And that goes for the standard size male A end and the smaller micro USB ends, which the micro USB ends are the ends that a lot of smaller products use, such as smartphones. A lot of Android smartphones, for example, will use a micro USB end for charging. Well, neither of those type of ends are reversible like lightning cables are. So that could be a bit frustrating sometimes. Sometimes it can take a minute to get the cable in right. Well, this company and another company I reviewed recently called Blitzwolf, they have come up with USB cables, both the standard full-size end and the micro end, that can go either way up. And you don't need any special product. You don't need a special port on a smartphone or a special phone or whatever. It will plug into any micro USB you already have. So if you have a Android smartphone from 2 years ago with a micro USB end, it doesn't matter. It still will plug into your current devices that you have. This is really, really good, but yet they look the same, yet they are reversible. That is so handy. I love these reversible cables. It is nylon braided. It is actually nylon braided, and you'll see that closer up. It's a good length. It's 2 meters or 6.6 feet. So it's a 2 meter cable. That is a nice size. Some of these, even if they're premium and you pay more for them, can be quite short. In fact, sometimes the more you pay for a cable, the shorter it is, because they're so high quality. You know, you're paying more for the quality than the length. But this is a premium quality reversible cable that's actually a decent length. It's 2 meters. Now, one of the things I like about this, and you'll see it closer up, I don't know if you can see it in the packet, but you have the connector end, then you have like a main little body. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Now that on this other cable by the other company I reviewed was plastic, and I found after reviewing it, after using it for a while, it wore out quite a bit. It's still usable, but the plastic bit here looked quite shabby, and it started to peel off and lift up. Well, this one here uses an aluminium alloy shell. So this bit here, the cable of course isn't metal, the cable is a braided cable, but then here you have an aluminium shell, then you have the connector, and I'll show you that closer up. So this, even though I haven't used this cable of course for years or months or anything like that yet, I don't see that this is going to peel and lift up and ruin and wear so quickly like the other one did. This is tested for 5,000 plus bends, so it has a good high quality lifespan. It is tested for bending the whole cable at least 5,000 times before it wears out. That's the same rating as the other cable. It is compatible with very high speed charging for charging devices. It's compatible with 5 volt 2.4 amp, 9 volt at 2 amp, or 12 volt at 1.5 amps. Now that is really, really good, because some cheaper cables are only rated at 1.2 or 1.4 amp for charging, which is usable, but it's not going to be as fast as some others. And even that other reversible cable I reviewed, I've been talking about a minute ago, that it wasn't far off this, but it still wasn't quite as fast as this. That was 2.1 amp. It had a maximum of 2.1 amp. This is 2.4 amp. Not a huge difference, but this is slightly quicker as well. This has a maximum charging capability of 2.4 amp, not 1.2, not 1.5, not even 2.1, but 2.4 amp. And I know if I get a cable for charging a device, I try to look for a cable that's either 2.1 or 2.4 at least. I prefer cables that are 2.1 or 2.4, so this is 2.4, which is exactly the type of cable I'd be looking to buy. It is compatible with Qualcomm Quick Charge 2.0. So what is Qualcomm Quick Charge 2.0? Well, it's a way of charging a device faster. Now, that doesn't make this an amazing magic cable. Your device will have to be compatible with Qualcomm 2.0 to take advantage of that. But if your device is, this cable is compatible. So your smartphone will need to be compatible with it to take advantage of that extra speed. But that doesn't mean it has to be compatible with Qualcomm. This is also compatible with any device. It doesn't have to be a Qualcomm device. But if your device is Qualcomm, this will take advantage of it. There is Qualcomm 3.0 now. And this is compatible with Qualcomm 3.0, but if you have a Qualcomm 3.0, this will work at a Qualcomm 2.0 speed, not a 3.0 speed, but still it will take advantage of Qualcomm 2 speed at least, which is still better than nothing. I haven't seen many cables yet that are 3.0 anyway, so that's not a huge knock or anything against this. So if you have a device and a charger that is Qualcomm 2.0, this will take advantage of that. It is also compatible with Qualcomm 3.0, just not at that 3.0 speed. So that is really, really good. And I am impressed with the price of this, because it is actually a bit of a deal, a bit of a bargain, because a lot of these cables that are really fast or they're reversible or whatever cost £6, £7, £8 just for a single cable. In fact, the other cable I reviewed by the other company, I think he was either £5.99 or £6.99. I think he was £6.99, so I think he was about £7, and it's just for one. This is actually a pack of two, so you get two cables for £7.95. So for about £8, you get two instead of one for £6 or £7. So you do save a lot of money, and you can never have too many of these, because yes, you might have lots and lots and lots of micro USB cables hanging around your home, because lots of products come with a free one. You might get a smartphone, it might have a free micro USB cable. You might get wireless headphones, it might come with one of those for charging it. But even if you have lots and lots hanging around your home, they are probably not as high speed. It's possible they are, but they won't be reversible. I can almost guarantee you 100% they will not be reversible, the type that you get included with other products like smartphones. They'll probably not be as long. They are normally quite short, and they probably aren't going to be as fast or as high quality. This is a maximum of 2.4 amp. It has a aluminium alloy shell on the top. It's braided cable, it's 2 meters, and it's high quality, fast. It's a really great cable to have, so it's good to have one of these, at least one of these, and I would personally like to have two, because then you have a spare, or you can have a couple devices charging at once. You could have your smartphone charging and another product charging or transferring data at the same time. And this has speeds of up to 480 megabytes a second, and this has very fast transfer speeds. Let me show you it closer up. Okay, I hope you can see it on camera. It's a little hard to tell on this little 3-inch screen I'm looking at on the back of the camera. Sometimes things don't look detailed, but when I look at it, editing it on a bigger screen, it's clear. So hopefully you can see that. That there is your micro USB end, a male micro USB end that plugs into things like a smartphone. It does have a InfoTechnica logo there, an IT logo, so it is branded by them. This bit here is the aluminium shell. Then you have the connector. So there's your aluminium shell. Now on the other cable I reviewed by the other company, this bit here was plastic. This bit here, that's an aluminium shell, and this one was plastic, and it started to peel off and lift up. With this one, I don't think you're going to have that problem because it is a very high quality aluminium shell. Then you have the connector. Then you have the cable itself, and it is kind of a silvery white cable with silver ends. So it's kind of a silver and white cable, which is really stylish. It looks very premium, and it is very, very bendable. You see that? It is very flexible and bendable, and it's 2 meters. Here is the end on the other side. It's a full male A USB end, and you might not know what a male A USB end is because normally people don't talk about it like that, at least if you're not technically minded. But basically all that means is this. I'm sure you can probably see that. It's basically what you would probably call a standard USB end. It's just a regular USB end, and it's known as a male A end. And that goes into your charger or your laptop. This end is also reversible, and it also has a aluminium alloy shell there as well. And I did have a cable once made by that company that made the other one. It wasn't reversible on both ends. Now, the other reversible micro USB cable by them, it was reversible on this end and on the micro end, but I think it was a lightning cable of theirs, and it called itself reversible, but this end, the standard side, wasn't reversible. But with this, both ends are reversible. The micro USB end can be inserted into the port either way up, it's reversible, and the same with this standard side end as well. Both ends are reversible. So what do I think of it? I am absolutely blown away, actually. I wouldn't normally say that by a cable, but I am highly impressed because I was quite impressed by the last one by the other company, but this one takes it to a next level. And why is that? Well, both are braided, reversible micro USB cables, this one and the one by the other company. But why is this one my new favourite? Why is this one the one I'm probably going to start using from now on for charging anything that needs a micro USB end? One, it supports up to 2.4 amp instead of 2.1, so it's that slight bit better, a slight bit in speed boost. Two, it also has an aluminium shell where the other one wore out pretty quick. I wasn't using it for long. I was using it maybe for a month, maybe 2 months, probably not even 2 months, and the shell bit here was plastic on the other one, and it started to peel and lift away. This one shouldn't do that. I will put an update in the description on this video on YouTube if it does, but I don't think it will. And three, I can't remember how long the other one was now off the top of my head. I think it was 1 meter. This is 2 meters, so it's got a decent reach on it. The other one was slightly short. It was a bit on the short side. I wouldn't want a micro USB cable that's hugely long, like 3 or 5 meters, but 2 meters is just right. And fourthly and lastly, you are getting 2 premium reversible cables for basically the price of one, pretty much. So they have really done an outstanding job. They have really done such a great job with this. It has an aluminium shell so it doesn't wear away. It's a really fast cable. It's nice and long, and it's 2 for a good price. This is a really good bargain. I think it's a really good, and it even looks stylish. Looks aren't really important, it's the performance and the quality, but it looks nice. It looks premium with that metal shell and the kind of silvery braided cable. It looks really sharp and premium, and it is a premium cable. Okay, hopefully you'll be able to see this alright from behind the camera. Hopefully my hands won't get in the way because I'm reaching around from behind the camera, behind the tripod. It's going to be slightly awkward. Hopefully my hands won't get in the way. Hopefully you can see this. I just want to very, very briefly show you it inserted into a micro USB product. It is going to be inserted into the charging port on an Android phone on a Qbot Rainbow Android 6.0 smartphone. I just want to show you that it does fit in snugly. It isn't going to drop out easily because I have had USB cables before that have not been made well, and even if you just slightly tap them with your little finger, they drop out and they stop charging, or they have such a weak connection in the port that even though they might be plugged in, they aren't charging at full speed because it's such a weak connection. I just want to show you that this is not the case with this one. It does sit snugly in the port. Okay, hopefully I'm not going to nudge the camera and stuff too much. There you go. There it is in. It is not wobbly. It is not wobbly at all. It is solid in that port. It's not loose at all. It sits really tightly and snugly. Now let's try pulling it out and see if it drops out or if it takes a bit of a tug. Wow, that actually took quite a tug. Some people might not like that, but I really like to see that because I've had trouble with cheap cables in the past where if you just, hold on, let me just put it in. If you just like tap it with your finger, it drops out. And that means that sometimes you might put something in charging, you go and leave it, come back, and somehow the cable's dropped out and it hasn't charged or it's lost its charge. That's not going to happen with this because it is in tightly and you can have a solid connection. It's not going to be a weak connection for charging. It's nice and tight and it's not going to drop out. Let's just show how reversible it is. Pull it out. Now that was the way it was in. Let's turn it over. Now it's upside down. And it's in anyway. I've just inserted it the other way up and it still goes in because it's reversible. That is so cool and so handy. And the same applies to the other end, the standard USB end. That is also snug and tight in port and takes a little tug to come out sometimes. So it is also very firm in the port as well. I'm not going to bother showing you that, but just take my word that both ends are reversible and have a nice snug tight connection and won't drop out. I can't recommend this enough. It's the InfoTechnica Reversible USB 2.0 A male to micro USB male cable by InfoTechnica, and it's really great. A link will be in the description along with this video on YouTube to the Amazon product page. Please like and comment on this video, and if you could do me a huge favour and subscribe to my YouTube channel, as it just takes a few seconds and will help me out a lot. Also, if you're watching this as a review on the Amazon product page, please hit the helpful button along with this video. That will help me out a lot too. Thanks for watching.